What's good? What's good? I'm tired. I was up until about 11 last night playing some blackjack, and then I had to drive an hour north to Seattle. And I woke up at 7 this morning because I had a job interview at the Home Depot at 8. And so I'm just tired. But this is how we get land. We freaking hustle. And I am on that grind right now. And this weekend is just like flowed together very well. And I'm very blessed and I'm very thankful. I finally moved my storage unit and my mailbox closer to Seattle because they were previously 3 hours away in Vancouver, Washington. And so then I just relocated them closer to in Olympia, Washington. So I'm thankful that I got that done. I made good decisions, make smart decisions. That's the theme kind of the last few days. And that theme came to me because when you play blackjack and you do so counting cards, you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. And I know that I'm not good enough at the actual art, and I'm not disciplined enough. And I acknowledge that. And it's been cool to be able to face that within me, to face the fact that I'm not as disciplined as I thought I was and as I should be. And I know I keep talking about the fact I need to lose some weight. That's an example of me not being disciplined. And I know how to be disciplined because I used to be the person whose life was scheduled almost to the minute. You know, it's wake up at 6, shower, get to work by 7, go to class, hit the gym. Like I used to be very, very disciplined. And then I lost it for a lot of reasons. But I think, you know, they always say you have to lose everything in order to find, you know, your purpose or your direction in life. And I get that. And so I'm not as disciplined as I should be. And so I've been, you know, my last video yesterday, check it out. I talked about how your conscious brain can program your subconscious brain. It just takes a lot of time and effort and work. But I want land, which also takes time, effort, and work. And so I have to develop those skills. What was I saying? Make good decisions. I'm programming that in my head. So when there are times when I want to deviate from making a good decision, I'll just remind myself, Andrew, make good decisions. And I love that because I love that I'm growing. But also there are so many of these expressions and experiences that I've developed during this time of difficulty for me that I'm going to transfer into my goal of being a father. And so I saw it yesterday when I was, you know, telling myself to make good decisions. I saw me telling my children someday when it's Friday and they're going out, and I want to be the type of parent that gives them the freedom to go out. But then also when they're leaving, I want to say, I love you, make good decisions, because I want them to have the freedom to go experience and explore the world, but also I just want them to be safe because I'm going to love them. I'm going to love the shit out of them. I did not have a good childhood, a good upbringing. And so, you know, I did really, I checked the boxes in my teens and in my 20s, which is easy to do when you are wanting to just be a part of the system, right? So there are ways you can pick a path and then you can just start checking boxes and going down the road. So getting a college degree, getting a corporate job, buying a house, doing all of those things that seem normal, but are in fact actually just perpetuating a toxic paradigm. The Matrix, as they call it, whatever you want to call it, the sixth society, it's pretty fucked up. You know, our society is really fucked up. And it's really sad, but that's why we are doing this sort of a return to the land, in a sense. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and why I want to buy land and build community is because we need to preserve ways of being for when the technocracy eventually implodes from within. Because ultimately, and I'm thinking 200 to 300 years, I'm thinking generationally. That's something that the elites do that we don't do. We as normies don't do. We don't really think generationally. We do in a sense of we want our children and our grandchildren to be okay, but I don't think we really think about what that means, because let's just look at America today. If our parents and our grandparents actually cared, we would not have this mess that we're in, right? And so it is upon us to make the changes and to divest as much as we can from the system. It's on us. There was one more thought real quick. I'm going to pause. Circle back to make good decisions. I was going to the ATM last night after my session because I needed to deposit some cash because I won a few $100. Not a big deal, but at this point I'm just like, I'm still in the practice phase, so it's really cool to have a $5 minimum table that I can go practice on. But I won a few $100, so I was going to the ATM and I was laughing to myself, like 10 years ago I was not making good decisions. And even though I'm doing something slightly irresponsible, I think in the long run it's a good decision. And it was just nice to deposit money. But anyways, let me just circle kind of back to everything. I did get the job at Home Depot, but I just want to note some funny things real quick. First of all, look at me being a fucking douche, wearing a goddamn polo. Okay. That's so much better. And I'm wearing khakis too. I'd show you, but I've already got them unbuttoned because I've gained a little weight and these fit a little tight. I really need to lose some weight. But during the interview, this is the state of our country right now. It's a part-time job and they're like, well, we want open availability. And I'm like, you want to schedule me 20 hours a week, but then expect me to be available all the time? Because I did exceptional, the interviewer said. I did exceptional. They were going to make an exception for me because I'm still trying to do the construction work thing. So in a perfect world, now I'm going to be working 6 to 7 days a week. I'm not going to be doing delivery work anymore. I'm so thankful for that. I'm going to have just like a W-2 job, and then I'm going to have the side construction work, and I'm going to juggle it all. And it's going to be nice to just sort of hunker down for the next 6 months and stack some cash so I can get a bankroll while I'm continuing to practice the blackjack thing. Because once you're good enough and you have a bankroll, then it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. And I'm like a year away from that point. I think there's like a whole boot camp I want to go to. And so I'm actually going to take a break from playing, play less, save more, practice more discipline. I need to be more disciplined, and I know that I can do it. I just kind of lost it over the years, but it's time to get back on track. My recent video, I think yesterday or the day before, a few days ago, the return begins now. My return requires a return to discipline, which I can do. And if you've been struggling, you can also be more disciplined. It takes work. It takes programming, but you can do it. I believe in you. We're doing it for ourselves and we're doing it for the planet. God, this planet is so beautiful. This planet is so beautiful. Like, I don't know what I believe in terms of God and the universe and all of that stuff. It's just so, I love thinking about it. I will literally just, my brain will go into into space, right? I try to visualize the outer boundaries of space. And what does that even look like? What are the boundaries of material reality? I love thinking about that stuff, but that's like on the macro scale. On the micro scale, the beauty of green. There's a lot of green. I love Washington State. It's so beautiful. Let me see. You can't quite see through my window. It's a dirty window. But just the subtle shades, differences in the shades of green. So beautiful. And the blue, the contrast with the blue, and then, oh, maybe a little yellow and some orange. This planet is beautiful. That's like what the purpose of this lifetime is about, is this planet, this spaceship Earth, this opportunity to be in a human vessel. And we've got many thousands of years before we evolve kind of beyond this planet and become an interstellar species. We don't need to rush that. People like Elon Musk and other technocrats don't realize well, because they're crazy, they're fucking sociopathic, but whatever. We don't need to rush the future of society, of the planet. We really need to slow down. And now I'm thinking of Alan Watts, and this is a long video. I'm going to end it here, but please like, comment, share, subscribe. Check the description for merch. Get your No Division shirts, because we need to not let the ruling classes divide us in the working class. Much love.